And they almost seem like they almost seek out damaging situations.
Yeah, no, they do.
They'll look at a situation as a whole, and despite the good things that happen to them, they'll take the one or two things that could be damaging and cling on to that as opposed to the 10 wonderful things that happen.
Because they so damaged.
And they like the damage.
Yeah,
it's
like
like they become so accustomed to it.
Yeah.
It's a safe place for them.
Yeah.
Your baby mama, sister, cousin, hater. Ask Ross, ask Raider, and get the scoop. Those 31 flavors. Laugh now, cry later.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Ross and Raider. I'm Ross.
I am Raider. I am your neighbor.
And today we are talking about damage. Like, wait, okay, so damage in relationships, damage like as a culture, or like just how people deal with damage?
Yeah, how do people deal with damage? I think you can put all those three together, but you can separate them as part of three-part questions. How do people deal with damage in a relationship, or how do you deal with someone that has been damaged in a relationship? How do people look at us as Americans damaged?
African Americans damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you think we are viewed in the world as African American? Are we viewed as damaged goods? Or so it could be a three-part.
I feel like
Uh-oh.
as African Americans as a whole on the world stage, I feel like I don't know if it necessarily came from Europe, but the whole idea of colorism plays a huge part. Well, you left the country,
Mm-hmm.
right? You were in a whole different country, and you were around women of different shades, right? How do the lighter women get treated as opposed to the darker women? Are they treated worse, the same?
It's everywhere. It's no different. They treat worse. Like, I'm a darker skinned gentleman. I'm treated worse
Yeah,
than a light skinned gentleman in another country.
yeah.
But that don't stop me.
And that's the thing.
And it doesn't stop the women from dating, from relationships, from getting what they need to get done. It's, you can look at me how you want to look at me. It's not my problem. Move on. Next.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, okay, like the way you handle it. That's a way to handle it, but not every person handles it that way. And not even so much how we handle it as African American people, but more so I'm concerned about like how people view it and deal with it. Like colorism globally is a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not only America. It's a thing everywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's all over the world.
So to think that other people don't deal with it, it's just an American thing. People deal with colorism in Africa.
Yeah. Yes.
So, like, it's all over the world. Shit, get over it. Move on. Next.
Well, that's the thing. Like some people can't.
Why? That's when you want to play victim. That's like the Al Sharpton of race.
Well,
You have to have something to
wait, skinny Al Sharpton or fat Al Sharpton?
both. Michael Jackson and Al Sharpton.
That's like Luther Vandross. Like which Al is it?
You have to. You always gonna have your disadvantages. Who gives a fuck? Do something about it.
Why?
You can't complain. Like I cannot complain about my disadvantages. I can't. I'm not gonna complain about it. It's there. It's gonna be there. Unless a group, the masses of black people come together and say, we're not taking this shit no more. The masses of black people. If we all come together and say we not taking this shit no more, then I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
If we had somebody like Martin Luther King, like, no, what, we not taking this shit. We're gonna do something about it. I would 100% line up behind that person.
And you know what? We need to do a show on. I want to do a show on African unification. It's a deep show. We're gonna do that too. We're gonna do that before you go back to paradise. But that's the thing though. Like, okay, some people do take it as a victim role. Some people become extremely defensive. Some people become off-putting or offset.
Colorism is a thing everywhere, but we cry about it the most here.
Okay. Is it because that goes back to the damage issue? Is it because we've been damaged more here in this country because of colorism?
We have been damaged more. No.
Not through slavery. You don't think so? You know something I don't know.
Yeah.
What you know?
It was more slaves in South America than it was in America.
That's true.
We haven't been damaged more.
That's true.
I ain't seen some shit, and they still go through shit.
Yeah.
And they live in third world countries. They still don't have access to water and shit like that. And you complaining about like it's a disadvantage? Take your disadvantage and do something about it. Make it better for the next person. I think we have a problem with complaining about stuff and not doing stuff. We complain about, it's colorism, shit, look at this.
What are you gonna do about it?
Create your own shit. So you don't have to do it. Just create your own shit. Stop asking people for shit. Just create your own.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like, if you tired of it, create your own shit. There's no reason that you can be at a disadvantage and still be worried about, being damaged and being a victim. At what point you start being a victim? You've been a victim all your life, so you what we call it in the manosphere, we call it a starfish. You just lay on your back. You don't do nothing.
Damn. Oh God, that's a shit. Okay.
You just lay on your back, right? You just there. Now, when are you gonna get up and do something about it? Stop complaining. Stop being damaged.
So
Damaged people make damaged kids.
yes. What Kanye say? Hated niggas marry hated bitches and have hated kids. That's real. That's real shit. Okay. What if you don't realize that you're damaged? How do you, and not just like on the world stage as far as colorism, as far as like, let's say damage overall. Let's say even a white person who's damaged by past experiences and they don't realize it. How do you realize that you're damaged? Because I'm sorry. First I gotta say we're all damaged to some extent. We're all damaged to some extent. No one is. If you're over 20, you are not unscathed. I'm sorry if you've lived. You got a little bit of damage on you. But how do you recognize and deal with it?
I think everybody recognizes it. I think when someone has when you like, are you have a feeling like you don't like it, and you know you don't like it, you need to do something about it. It's that feeling inside yourself when you don't like something. It's that feeling when you know something is wrong. You need to do something about it. You have that feeling about yourself.
I was gonna say that about yourself.
That something's wrong, that it's not a good feeling. That's when you like, okay, I need to change something. You need to ask yourself that question. If you never ask yourself that question, but people do this all the time. People put, and I learned this, people put such a good character up. I learned this.
Like that facade?
Yeah.
Yes.
People put up
Yes.
what people do is they put up a WWE character. They make a character.
I know what you said. Yeah. Yeah. You put on that bravado.
Yeah.
You put on a bravado. You put on a face, and you present this face and this bravado to the entire world. Look at me. I'm great. I've got this going on. I've got this and I've got this.
I'm about to kill myself.
And I drive this, and I'm depressed as fuck.
I'm about to kill myself.
Yeah, and I'm not laughing about that, but I'm just saying, like, yes, absolutely. So people put on that bravado.
Yeah, and they are really damaged inside, but their persona is such a high regard. They won't let that persona down, or that character down.
Okay, so what about damaged people as far as like, okay, we talked about the world stage, we talked about culture. What about like relationships? How do you deal with damage in relationships? What about a damaged person, someone that was damaged in a previous relationship?
I don't deal with it.
Period?
Yes, I don't deal with it no more. I learned something. I have learned something. What the shaman told me. You have to protect. He told me this while I was in the ceremony. He said, it's only so many times that I can protect your energy. You have to protect your energy.
That's real.
It's only so many times you can say, okay, I know, I'm able to deal with it. I can handle it. No. It's, for me, I understand everything, that everything is a test. You damage, okay, boom, I test you. Boom, I test you. Boom, I test you.
They pull you down with them.
Boom.
And that's that thing, like.
Then now your guard down, you're like, man, I'm beaten. Fuck.
I can say that I've been in experiences with damaged people, in relationships with damaged people, and it pulls on you, it pulls you down. And it's funny, like when you come to the decision to not let this person damage, when you come like to a decision, not saying that I'm not damaged, but when you make the decision like, okay, I'm not going to let this person damage me anymore. Your feelings start to change. You start to get a little distant from them. Because they keep going down, they keep trying to pull you down, you stay at your level, and it's like, damn, this isn't working. That's the thing like in a relationship with a damaged person. Especially if they don't realize it. How many times do you present it to them? You're like, not at all. You gotta at least present it to them a few times, like, hey, you're doing this thing.
Mm-hmm. Extra, I look at this. I understand now, extra stage left, because no matter how many times you present it to them. Okay, you present it to them once, right?
Okay.
And say they do it again. What happens?
You try and present it to them again.
That's done. Like my mama said, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm done. Fuck. I learned a lot about myself. I'm not dealing with any more things, attitudes, personalities that will bring me down. Damage or not. We have a friend that's very damaged. We have a couple friends that's very damaged.
Probably. I don't know which friend you're talking about in particular. But go ahead, as you talk, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
They are very damaged. They deal with the women, and
we got some friends that deal with damaged women.
Yes, and then they bring us down by their conversation of what they're going through.
And we have female friends that have dealt with damaged men too. So I don't want you to think it's a thing. Because luckily, some of our female associates got out of those relationships with the damaged men. Which I'm glad about. But go ahead.
Yeah, so they're damaged. And so when you have a conversation with them, it's like, oh, man, well, we doing this.
Yeah, it does drag you down. It's like, where do you draw that line? Where do you draw that line of like, okay, I'm your friend, I'm gonna listen to
No, fuck that.
you.
Like,
Like,
so I'm only back for a couple weeks, but I'm not dealing with shit no more. Fuck you and the horse you came off of. No, I'm not. I don't got the energy. It's too much energy for me to drain.
No, I feel you.
I don't give a fuck who it is. Like, I was talking to one of my friends today, and he was just talking about other people. I was like, okay, what they got to do with you? And he was
Like talking about, or like
he was talking about how he was talking about how he was somebody quit, and he was just thinking about what they said to him. I'm like, okay, they quit. You ain't got to see them no more. So what the fuck? What they said got to do anything with you? It's done.
Do damaged people hold on to damaging situations?
Yeah.
Like a situation like that. Like it sounds like that person has some damage that they haven't dealt with, but something else damaging happened, and it seems to like grasp onto that situation.
Yeah, I think it is. It's like it's a ball.
Okay.
It's a small ball. You know, a small ball of rubber bands. And you just try adding on rubber bands and rubber bands and rubber bands.
Yeah.
You just add on balls of damage.
Snowball effect.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, I'm a damaged motherfucker. Oh no.
And this happened to me. This damaged me.
This.
Damn. And then this happened too, and this damaged me too. And it's like, damn, now I'm more damaged. It's a weird thing. I do know this is a weird thing that some people become so. We talk about comfort and discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good episode. Watch that. We talk about comfort and discomfort. Some people take comfort in their damage.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like they almost seek out damaging situations.
Yeah, they do.
They'll look at a situation as a whole, and despite the good things that happen to them, they'll take the one or two things that could be damaging and cling on to that as opposed to the 10 wonderful things that happen.
Because they so damaged.
And they like the damage.
Yeah,
it's
like
like they become so accustomed to it.
Yeah.
It's a safe place for them.
Yeah, it's just like,
fuck that.
We know a girl that likes damaged dudes. So she's accustomed to them.
Several.
So now, what do? You know that person likes damaging people. You move the fuck around.
That's true. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure I've done this before. I'm sure I've done this and be like, well, you know what?
Look,
good luck to you. I hope that you.
Look at this. I'm about to hit a big stage in my life. Anywhere fuck in the motherfucking world. I'm about to stay around people who are not pouring into me. I'm not pouring into them. I'm going to challenge people because I used to be, okay, I need to know when the tough gets going, are you going to have my back and I'm going to have yours?
Yeah.
I think we have created a society of damaged people where anything you say to them, they take it as damage rather than critique or criticism. I'll say, no, you know what? You could do this better. No, let's work on this.
You spoke about that before, yeah. Yeah.
And I think that people, rather than taking it as fuel, take it as damage. So now they taking it as snowballing it on top of everything. Oh my God, this motherfucker don't like me. Oh, like.
And that's that thing too. Now see, that's the thing though. Now here's the thing about the way I look at it. My glasses are dirty. Like, I know people that are damaged.
Uh-huh.
I almost tried to talk to a girl, and I know she still does this. I'm glad I stopped because she's damaged. And anything that anyone does to her, even if it's inadvertently or even if it's not a damaging thing, she takes it as damage. And she either turns the fuck up. Well, I already talked to her anymore. She either turned the fuck up or she like cut a person off. And it's like, and I would be on the side looking like, yo, it's not even a thing. Like, it's not even a big thing. Like, chill out. Just, you know. But I've seen her. I watched her. I hope she's still not doing it. I really do, for her sake. But I've seen her like cut people out of her life.
Nah, she still do it.
I've seen her like ruin situations and chances. Like I was out with her and we were kicking it, and she was trying to get a drink, and something went wrong, and like. It's funny, cause like I was with her, like, you know, you can tell that we were friends or whatever, but I was with her, and I saw this guy eyeing her, and I'm like telling her, I'm like, yo, my boy, he's looking at you, like, you know. And I'm telling her this, and she's like, she's in her head, she's like, okay, he's checking me. I'm like, okay, you don't do your, you know. But like a few minutes later, she gets into it with like the person behind the bar, almost to a shouting match. And I'm watching her, I'm like, damn, she's really going in. I look back at dude, he saw that. He picked up and walked away and was gone. And it's like, it's a thing, it's like, if she had been cool in that situation, I'm not saying that like they would have been married or something like that, but you never know like what would have happened like that.
You're right. I think that taking that situation, people are always guys the most. Guys are watching all the time. Like, you know, when we go out, we're like, okay, we go out and we see a chick.
Mm.
And we watch how girl moves before we approach.
Hell yeah. Especially in our like 30s.
Yeah.
Especially in your 30s. It's like, no, I ain't gonna go over there yet. Let me just let me just see what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I'm in a relationship. But yeah, like no, for real. Like you'd be like
So we watch how girl moves. So in those minutes, we see how she acts. We see how she acts around people, other people, guests, people she don't know.
Yes.
And if anything that she does is not to our liking, we exit stage left.
Absolutely. I've been in so many situations where I've been like, oh, that's decent. Like, okay, I'm gonna see what's up. But then like a few minutes later, I'll see something. I'm like,
Now you want to talk to her? I'm like, no, I'm done.
some damage you can see, like it's just on their face. Not even on their face, just the way they move.
Yeah.
So, damaged people, what advice would you give to someone first to figure out if they have damage that's affecting their life?
Self-evaluation.
Okay.
Self-evaluation is the best. If you cannot do a self-evaluation, go seek help.
Go see a therapist.
Yeah, go see a therapist, psychologist,
Yo.
anybody. You call it 1-800. They have a prevention or a helpline for people who want to know if they are dealing with issues of any kind.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, they have 1-800 number for people dealing with issues of any kind.
Okay.
So you could do that, and after you get help, just acknowledge that you need help. I think the acknowledgement is the worst and the best thing you could do.
Mm.
It's the worst because you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm damaged.
Yeah.
And for people telling themselves they are not their best self, when they put in their minds, they put in their head, I'm the best there ever was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be.
It's so easy. It's so easy to believe in your own bravado.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever try and do. Is like tell yourself like, yo, I'm wrong in this. Admitting that you're wrong about something. Admitting that.
Tell a woman that she go 10 times sideways. Who wrong? I ain't wrong. You wrong.
I've learned how to navigate that conversation. Yeah.
I'm still
with a series of questions, with a rational woman, with a series of questions, you can get her to actually think about. In a person, you get her to think about like, okay, maybe I need to look at this differently. But anyway, admit it to yourself by yourself. To do it by yourself is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. But that self-review, that honest review is necessary.
Man.
Especially for individuals, especially for people that want to be in relationships. And if you keep finding yourself alone, especially if you're like an attractive person, if you're attractive and you keep finding yourself alone, you might need some self-review. Something might be wrong. If you feel like you're constantly being a victim in a workplace or amongst a group of friends, you might need to ask yourself some questions. Maybe the workplace is wrong, maybe the group of friends are wrong, maybe you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, look at this. I learned something. I don't know who told me this while I was in my other location. It said you get new friends every 5 to 10 years. But you get new friends every 2 years. You get real tight friends every 5 years, and you get real close, like family, every 10 years. And I was like, let me look back. I was like, okay, I could take him and put him, no, I could take that. I was like, well, these other motherfuckers, man, something I did. Cause you know what, we hold on.
I was gonna say you ain't like that. What the fuck? Okay, go ahead.
We hold on to people that's supposed to be there for just one season, and we hold on to it for a lifetime because we think, they have their best interests for us, not knowing that they are really damaged. And them damaging us hurt us in the long run.
Yeah.
And made us worse.
Well, yeah, they want to pull us down to their level.
But they did. After so many years, you gotta understand, after so many years, people pulling you down. And look at this. My mama ain't never tell me no lie. She's like, watch the company you keep, because if people pull you down, pull you up. Damn. And it's up to you to figure out if they're supposed to be. It's in the Bible. She said something in the Bible verse. People are supposed to be here for a season, and people. It's like season by season, lifetime by lifetime. It's in the Bible somewhere. And we make permanent friends out of seasonal people.
Oh, I like that.
But you know what? That's what people do nowadays. People make permanent relationships out of seasonal friends.
Yeah.
Like, you just supposed to smell, or you just supposed to have a relationship. She wasn't supposed to be your girl. He wasn't supposed to be your guy.
Man, I've seen that happen.
You doing it because you lonely. You don't understand. You not whole. You damaged. So you take another damaged motherfucker, and two damaged motherfuckers is a bomb. It's a bomb.
And they make damaged kids.
Yeah.
To check out the rest of that video and many more, head over to YouTube at Ross and Raider.
And please check us out on our podcast, Ross and Raider, on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Music.
Thanks for tuning in.
We are your friends. Good night.